In this video, we will explore the historical and current dynamics of tension between Persian nationalists and pro-Islamic theocrats. We will be discussing the goals and challenges encountered by Persian nationalists as they strive for political transformation and the creation of a secular state that prioritizes Persian identity over religious governance. The history and dynamics of Persian nationalism extend far beyond the borders of Iran, especially into countries like Canada and the USA, where a significant diaspora has settled. These communities often carry with them the nationalist ideologies and cultural memories from their homeland, which can manifest in various forms and influence their integration and identity within these host countries. The emigration of Iranians to North America gained momentum particularly after the Islamic Revolution of 1979, which marked a significant shift from the secular, nationalist regime of the Pahlavi dynasty to a theocratic Islamic republic. Many Iranians who fled during and after the revolution were supporters of the previous regime or were disenchanted with the new theocratic governance, which contradicted their personal beliefs and lifestyles. Once settled in North America, the Persian diaspora attempted to retain their cultural identity, which for many included a strong sense of Persian nationalism. This nationalism often emphasized the glory of ancient Persia and its pre-Islamic heritage. In their new environments, communities were built around these shared histories and a collective nostalgia for the Iran that once was, emphasizing aspects such as language, literature, celebrations like Nowruz, Persian New Year, and other cultural practices. Among the Persian diaspora in the USA and Canada, there is a segment that aligns with right-wing views, partly influenced by a perception of shared values between their ancient Aryan heritage and those touted by Western right-wing groups. This alignment is fueled by a complex mix of pride in their ancient heritage and a strong stance against the Islamic governance of Iran. It is important to note, however, that these views are not universally held among all Iranians abroad, and the community is quite diverse in its political and cultural attitudes. Regarding religion, the Persian diaspora is religiously diverse, including Muslims, Baha'is, Zoroastrians, Christians, and secular individuals. The Baha'i faith and Zoroastrianism, in particular, are seen by some nationalists as more authentically Persian, given their roots in the region before the advent of Islam. Zoroastrianism, which was the state religion of pre-Islamic Iran, and Baha'i, which originated in Iran in the 19th century, are both embraced by some nationalists as symbols of resistance to Islamic rule and as links to a perceived more pure cultural past. There is a notable tension between some elements of the Persian diaspora and Arab communities, stemming primarily from historical grievances and exacerbated by nationalist narratives. This tension is often rooted in a strong sense of Persian identity that contrasts with Arab cultural and historical influences, which some nationalists view as having been imposed on Iran during the Arab conquests of the 7th century. These views can manifest as prejudice and hostility, although they do not represent the attitudes of all Iranians in the diaspora. Persian nationalists have long envisioned a modern, secular Iran that reveres its ancient cultural heritage without the overarching influence of religious clerics. This vision includes advocating for civil liberties, such as women's rights, which have been prominently highlighted by recent protests in response to women's oppression under the Islamic Republic's stringent laws. Since the Islamic Revolution of 1979, there have been numerous movements within Iran, such as the student protests in the late 1990s and the Green Movement of 2009, aimed at establishing a more secular and democratic governance structure. These movements, however, have consistently been met with harsh suppression from the regime's security forces, leading to their eventual decline without achieving significant systemic change. The diaspora, particularly in North American cities like Richmond Hill, Ontario, has been actively supporting these movements by organizing rallies and demonstrations to raise international awareness and pressure global institutions to act against the Iranian regime's human rights violations. The failure of Persian nationalists to effect regime change in Iran can be attributed to several factors. First, there is organizational fragmentation. Persian nationalists lack a unified leadership or coherent organizational structure, making it difficult to mount a sustained challenge to the Islamic Republic's authority. Additionally, the nationalist movement in Iran is not monolithic and encompasses a wide range of ideologies, from monarchists longing for the return of the Pahlavi dynasty to secular Republicans seeking a complete overhaul of the political system. This ideological divergence has prevented the formation of a cohesive opposition. The Islamic Republic has also employed extensive surveillance, harsh censorship, and violent suppression to quash dissent, making it perilous for Persian nationalists to organize and express their views openly. Moreover, although Persian nationalists have sought to gain international sympathy and support, global powers have often prioritized geopolitical and security interests over promoting democratic change in Iran. Finally, despite discontent with the Islamic Republic's policies, a significant portion of the Iranian population supports the regime due to its emphasis on social welfare, national sovereignty, and Islamic values, providing the regime with a measure of resilience against calls for regime change. The future of Persian nationalism in Iran is uncertain. The economic malaise, widespread dissatisfaction with the regime's authoritarianism, and a younger generation increasingly detached from the fervor of the Islamic Revolution provide fertile ground for nationalist sentiments to resurface. However, without overcoming the challenges of unity, organization, and effective resistance to state repression, the dreams of Persian nationalists for a secular, culturally rich, and globally integrated Iran remain elusive. In conclusion, the tension between Persian nationalism and Islamic theocracy in Iran is a complex and deeply rooted issue that reflects broader struggles over identity, governance, and Iran's place in the world. While Persian nationalists have faced significant obstacles in their quest for regime change, the continued social, economic, and political challenges facing the Islamic Republic suggest that this struggle is far from over. The path forward requires not only a reimagining of Iranian nationalism in a way that bridges historical divides, but also a strategic approach to mobilizing support both within and outside Iran. Thank you for joining us in this exploration. Stay tuned for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.